as Tim Southee picks up his 200th Test wicket in New Zealand.
Got a few questions, mate. Like, when did you first get into cricket?
I got into cricket because I'm the youngest of four and two older sisters and older brother. And growing up in the country, and my old man never played a game of cricket in his life. He played tennis, and I got into cricket through my brother, who played cricket because his mates played cricket, and started with backyard cricket and then moved into Kiwi cricket, I think it was at the time, as a 5 or 6 year old. And then, yeah, from there just fell in love with the game and really enjoyed it, along with a number of other sports. Growing up in the country, playing sport was a big part of our life growing up as well. Did you start as a bowler? Or you always been a bowler from backyard cricket? Well, I think being the youngest sibling, you always had to earn your stripes and start bowling. Older brother was always batting, so yeah, I guess that's where probably became a bowler, was because I had to bowl to my older brother and sisters. When did you, I guess, work out that this could be a career, that you could actually make a career out of playing cricket? I always loved sport and always enjoyed playing all different sports. And then sort of last couple of years at school, made the New Zealand under-19s as I think 16-year-old. From there, sort of had another under-19, had 2 under-19 World Cups and an under-19 series against India, and then played some domestic cricket pretty much straight out of school. So the day I left school, I started playing cricket. So it all happened pretty quickly. I didn't really have time to think about it really until I was actually really living it. So it's hard to pinpoint one moment in my life where I thought I could do this. But yeah, very fortunate, and I've appreciated the last however many years I've been able to do it. I do see quite a lot of the old throwback under-19 pictures. Have you seen those online? Yeah, we get the old ones every now and then, especially because the likes of Kane and Bolty and myself, we've all sort of come through the same age group, and you sort of get tagged in the odd thing on social media and pops up here and there. So yeah, it is good to look back and laugh, and yeah, just it doesn't seem like that long ago. But yeah, we've all certainly changed, and I think for the better.
Oh, full in the toe, yes! That is an absolute ripper from Tim Southee.
Well, speaking of changing, you're obviously a dad now. You've got 2 young kids. Who is Tim Southee? Who are you outside of cricket? Yeah, I think you changed obviously over the time when you start as a young teenager, and probably a little bit naive towards everything, and think you know everything, but you don't. And then you go through obviously a transition period and become now you're towards the back end and a father, and life's completely different to when you started. But yeah, now away from cricket, family occupies most of that time. I love being at home with what we do. Being away on the road so much, it's just any time you're at home and with your family and watching them grow, and just being a dad at home and just enjoying the simple things. It's gone pretty quickly, and yeah, it's just been a great, I guess, well, my biggest achievement so far has been the kids, and just watching them grow as well. So how does that differ then off the field to on the field? What kind of person are you on the field? You're definitely not a soft dad, but
Oh, I think I think everyone's slightly different, but I think, and you change throughout your career. I think when I was younger, I was probably a little bit more of a hothead, and sort of channeled a bit of energy in that way. When you get older, you get a bit wiser to a few things, and yeah, I think just trying to enjoy cricket. Like I say, it was a dream to be able to do it, so just making sure I'm enjoying it as much as I can. So I'd like to think that I'm not too dissimilar as what I get off the field, is just trying to have fun. A lot of us, it was our dream to be doing what we're doing, and so just remembering that, and that it's a pretty awesome thing to be able to do, is represent our country and travel around the world with a good group of mates. And at times you can sort of lose track of that, and I think you keep coming back to that, it puts you in good stead. What are some of those moments that, like some memorable moments on the field that you've sort of experienced throughout your career? I mean, you've had a great career so far, second top Test wicket taker for New Zealand, but what are some of those memories that stand out for you on the field? In the recent years, the 2015 World Cup at home was special to be a part of. Just the whole few weeks playing in front of packed stadiums, the whole country getting behind us, the way that we were playing our cricket. I think it was amazing for cricket in this country, and for people to see how big cricket is globally, and having that event here in Australia was pretty special. And it was just a great time to be a part of the side, and the amount of fun we had. Obviously we had a very good side as well. Disappointing not to go all the way, but I think all the guys that were a part of that, the 15 guys that were a part of that, it'll be a special part of their careers as well. And then of late, winning the Test Championship was pretty special. I think just the pure love I have for Test cricket and being able to, I guess, lift that mace at the end of that Test match was pretty special as well.
Oh, it's edged, it's gone. It's Neesham with the same hands at second slip. New Zealand pick up their fourth. Southee has his second.
Who's been some of the biggest influences on your career?
I think, look back when I started as a young guy and the likes of Dan Vittori, Brendan obviously with his captaincy and the way that he sort of grabbed the team and sort of turned it round sort of through that period, and I guess that sort of kick-started to what we've been able to achieve over the last few years. So those two guys have been massive. Guys like playing alongside Bondi and Kyle Mills, they were very good to me as a young guy coming in. There weren't many young guys in the side then, and they made it pretty welcoming to come in and be a part of the side as well. So it was a little bit strange as a young guy coming in, and there's these guys that you've sort of been watching on TV for such a long period of time, and all of a sudden you're sitting there and taking the field with them. It's pretty cool.
To touch on Trent Boult, you guys have had such an amazing pairing for so long for New Zealand. Tell us a little bit about that partnership with Trent Boult and what that means to you.
Been a pretty special one. I think we've played the majority of our careers together. We go back to underage stuff for Northern Districts, coming from the same province to New Zealand under-19s to opening the bowling in all three formats for over 10 years. So it's been a pretty special partnership that's turned into a pretty solid friendship as well. So it's always nice, like batters prefer to bat with certain batters and form partnerships, and it's no different with bowlers. It's nice to know what the guy is doing at the other end or what he's thinking. And when you play with someone for so long and you know someone on a personal note, then it's always that little bit easier. And I think we also complement each other pretty well with our left arm and right arm swing bowling. So yeah, it's been a real privilege, and I guess started out as a bowling partnership that turned into a pretty good friendship.
Oh, it's a slow ball. Southee got the catch. Is there any bat involved? Great work from the New Zealand skipper.
What is the greatest lesson that you've learned in your career so far?
I think just learning from every experience you have. I think, and you're not too old to learn things. I think just continuing to learn throughout your career, from good, bad, ugly performances. It's just finding a way to try and learn and try and get better each time you turn up to training, and each time you take the field for New Zealanders, trying to find ways to improve as a cricketer and keep giving more to the team. And there's one thing we talk about is leaving the team or the game in a better place than when you started. So I think that's something that's sort of stuck with me as well.
Speaking of finishing the game, when you finish up, what are the accomplishments that you, I guess, would want to look back on when you've finished? I
think just leaving the game in a better place than when you started. Obviously have a heap of memories that we've done, some friendships we've formed, people that you've played with have really enjoyed playing with you. But I think that just leaving the game and the team in a better place than when I started. So I think that's probably the main thing I'd like to sort of pass on, and hopefully, just forming a lot of friendships and leaving some sort of mark on the guys you sort of play with.